Have you ever felt like you're outgrowing the people in the relationships that are in your life, but you're not really sure what comes next? Because that's really where I've been spending most of my time lately. And I did notice that once I started prioritizing my personal growth for the first time in my entire life, that my circle of friends and even family started shrinking. And in this video, I'm going to let you know why I'm totally okay with that happening and actually why I'm excited about the future, even though that my circle of contacts is shrinking. And so, just to start with friends, I grew up in a large community and I was blessed to have literally hundreds of friends in this community at one point. And over time, obviously, people lose touch with each other and they're raising families and whatnot. And so, right now, I'm really left with a core group of about 20 of my best friends that I see somewhat regularly. And I've noticed that sometimes when we're hanging out at someone's house or even when we're um, out and about, that conversations delve into gossip and drama. And it's not to say that I am above my friends, because I certainly am not saying that. And in a lot of regards, I'm actually behind my friends, because they're just a group of people that make things happen in the world and they have a lot going for them. So, if anything, I'm actually behind my friends. Not that I compare, but I'm just not interested in surface level stuff because I spent most of my life on the surface level and I'm now swimming in much deeper waters at this point. And so these surface level conversations about drama and did I hear about what happened to who really just don't interest me anymore. And so if those conversations come up, I can struggle through the conversation. But on the inside, I'm kind of looking around like, is this really what we talk about? Is this what we concern ourselves with? Because I'm just not interested in any of that stuff. That's really lowering my vibration that I've worked so hard to get up over the last year and a half to 2 years. So, yes, just simple things like those situations where I start to feel that, like, something feels off. Another thing is just unhealthy habits. Like, I don't really drink alcohol that much anymore. And a lot of my friends are into using cannabis, which I respect. But at this point in my life, I just don't really spend my time doing those things anymore. And so I just have to be conscious about, if someone asks me to hang out, is this going to turn into drinking beers and smoking weed and watching sports? Because while there was a time in my life where those things were important to me, I'd even go as far to say, at this point in my life, those things could not be any less important to me. I'm interested in being able to engage in conversations where you don't need alcohol or drugs to actually have a meaningful conversation. Um, and you're not going to catch me watching 8 hours of sports on a Sunday anymore, because I can just spend my time exponentially better than doing something like that. I've also noticed this with my family. Certainly, I had a big falling out recently with my parents that has since been smoothed over, but really it was rooted in the fact that I have gone through all this spiritual growth recently, and I am really focused on authenticity and emotional honesty at this point in my life. And they were just not prepared or ready to meet me in that new space. And so instead of me buckling under old family dynamics and pressure that I previously would have, I really took a stand because I knew that I was right in this situation. And I was not being dragged into old, outdated family patterns that I grew up with as a child. So while that relationship I didn't lose it, it certainly changed the dynamic. And we are now all heading in a completely different direction that I'm really excited about because they are almost 70 years old now. And I never thought I would get them to think differently or act differently just based on how we grew up in my household. And it's been really cool to see that me standing in my own truth and my own authenticity as I continue to find out who the I am. It's been really neat to see that. And aside from my immediate family, my parents and my sibling, um, I've also seen this with my extended family with cousins and whatnot. And so just recently, I've really just been, excuse me, I've just been re examining my relationships with my extended family. And what I came to notice is that it was a lot of me just showing up for other people all the time, or me making attempts to maintain relations with my cousins and their children. And at a certain point, I just began to realize that this was a very one way direction of communication, and that I was not being met with the same desire to maintain these relationships or to get together or to do any of that stuff. And so I'm really just trimming a lot of the the fat from my life when it comes to relationships, even within my own family. And I'm just so done being told what I'm supposed to do, whether that's from an actual person or from within my own brain about you should go to this, you should do this, you should do this. I'm just done with what I should do. I don't care if I'm related to someone by blood or not. I am so much closer to my friends' children than my own blood relatives' children's. So I'm just done with the whole what I'm supposed to do or how I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to act like. These relationships really do not enrich my life in any way, shape, or form any longer. And while they did previously growing up, they no longer serve me. So I'm all done pretending that I need these relationships in my life and putting in the effort because I'm not getting that in return. And so, as hard as that is to hear, it's really just something that I'm excited about is that I will always be related to these people. And so, if they ever, I'm sure there's not a snowball chance in hell of this happening, but if they ever change their mind and want to reach out to their cousin to get together, I will be here waiting. But I am done carving out time for surface level awkward conversations with my family members. I'm just over it. And so, with that said, I've just been left in this place of feeling in between and lonely and kind of uncertain about what the future holds. But really, growth is about letting go of what no longer serves us. And so, whether that's unhealthy habits or relationships that were always strong for a while and have since weakened and basically disintegrated, it's really about just letting go of things that don't serve us anymore. That's really a large focus of my life right now, is just asking the question throughout the day, does this serve me or no? And making better decisions because of this. And really this feeling of in between is just because you're clearing out the old relationships that no longer serve you, but by clearing out that and making the space, you're making space for relationships that are going to be so much stronger and of a much higher vibration and just so much more enriching for you, and quite honestly the kinds of relationships that you actually deserve in your life. Because like I said, I've just outgrown a lot of friends and family, and I'm just making space for the people that I'm yet to meet, that I know I'm going to meet, because those relationships are just going to be a much better fit for where I'm at in my life now. I just encourage you to begin asking the question, what relationships in your life at this point in your life, not previously, not the past, what relationships at this point in your life are you finding to be draining? While keeping that in mind, I would just encourage you that, you really should have gratitude for these connections that you've had. But you really should set boundaries, and you should stop telling yourself a story of how things should be or how they once were. Because the only thing that matters is how things are right now. And so, if you look at these relationships right now and you don't feel the same level of love or closeness or level of effort that you're putting out, and if you're not interested in discussing very low vibrational things like drama and gossip, it's good to feel those things. And it's hard to deal with, when your world is changing, but it's all for the best. So, anyway, I hope you find this interesting, because I'm finding this interesting on a daily basis as I go about my life, as I pick my spots of who I'm going to hang out with and what we're going to be doing and for how long. It's just very interesting to feel the level of growth that I'm going through. Like I said, this isn't about ending relationships. This is about, well, actually, it is about ending relationships in some cases that no longer serve you, but it's really about, you know, you're not who you were. And as I have said to my friends and family, I am welcoming anyone that would like to come with me to come with me. But I am not lowering my vibration and conforming to their surface level minutia anymore. Because all that does is just knock me off the course that I've set for myself and that I am plowing forward on, to achieve my goals now that I finally have my goals figured out. So, anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, but I am deeply interested in hearing from you. If you've gone through similar things, if you're feeling that loneliness, that uncertainty, if you're not really sure what's going on and you feel like your world's getting smaller, I would actually challenge you to say that that's actually a good thing and that you're making space for far more enriching relationships in your life. So, anyway, I'm John. I hope you found this helpful. I always enjoy speaking with you. And yeah, I will talk to you in the next one. I hope that you will be well and take care of yourself.